Today, I want to talk about something that I think is not talked enough about, which is vulnerability in leadership. And I think I'll share 3 stories of vulnerability. And, how I am here today is because I embraced vulnerability. I'll talk about the first one when, even before I started entrepreneurship, I'll just share a little story of how I started or how I really came about understanding my position and how it made me who I am. So before I get started, to just get everyone on the same page, I cry a lot. Crying to me, again, because I'm building in public, right? Crying is the most efficient and productive way to reduce stress. There's actually a research out of Harvard University, and I can find that link and I'll link it in the description box, talking about when you're super stressed or when you cry from emotions, there's actually a specific hormone that is released in your body to reduce that stress factor that caused you to cry. So crying is actually a fantastic way to deal with stress and reduce stress instantly. Seriously, if it's very stressful, you cry 5 minutes and you're good. You're really, really good, clear head, balanced emotions, and you can move forward again. That being said, it's important. It's weird, how do I put this? I don't schedule to cry, and also I don't cry every day. I cry maybe once a quarter or once every 6 months. Sometimes you're just spinning too many plates, and sometimes it's not even a sad thing, genuinely. It's just overwhelmed in balancing too many things. Meditation is also another thing. And yeah, meditation is more of the things that you do every day, and then crying is once in a while, you cry, and then it's good again. So before I started economics design, I had my own other startup. But before that, I was living in Vietnam. I was working for this company, helping them to build a new product and expand to a new market. And I don't want to say the name of this company. I don't know if it still exists, but it was a tech company based in Vietnam. And the co-founders, the 2 co-founders, they used to be a couple. And then they split up while running the company together. So, which is fine, it's normal. People stay together, people split up, yeah, it's fine. The problem is they brought a lot of their personal life politics into the company, and it was just not fun. Really not fun. Thing is, I was hired by one of them to work, but because of all these ideas that I'm creating and this product stuff, I had to report to the other person. And because they're not happy with each other, they are not really happy with, if I'm working with A, I have to report to B. B doesn't like the fact that I was hired by A. So that was it was very difficult because I had a lot of ideas. I wanted to execute stuff, but I needed B's permission, but B wouldn't give me anything, and B would shut down every idea that I had. So I felt very stressed. I felt very unworthy. I had a lot of doubts about my skills because every idea that I came up with just kept shutting down I don't understand why as well. I was speaking to a friend, and a friend told me, and this was how I changed a lot of my perspectives, which is very strange. My friend said, "Oh, you are the triple whammy." Back then, this was like a little less than 10 years ago. My friend said, "Oh, you're the triple whammy. Firstly, you're female. Second, you're Asian. And third, you're young." And when you have all these 3 traits together, in general, it's a lot harder to stand out. It's easier. People don't really take you seriously. You get pushed down, you get trampled upon, stuff like that. Like me being me, I didn't take that seriously. I'm like, yeah, sure, just, bullshit talk. But I saw that, I understood that, and I realized, yeah, there are people who see the world in these kind of frameworks, which it's fine. It didn't really bother me. It gave me awareness, so I know how to take action. It didn't put me down or anything. Like that triple whammy didn't put me down or anything. It gave me a new perspective, and pretty much it was, well, if Asian, female, and young is the lowest someone could go from a social hierarchy standpoint, then the only way is up. So I felt very vulnerable, not knowing not knowing why my ideas kept getting rejected, but also changing the perspective of, well, if this is down, then the only way is up. Then, let's see how big I can go, and let's see how far I can go. So that period though was very, very hard. That period was, in general, I'm a very, very happy, extremely positive person who is only sees good in the future. But that was the darkest moments of my life. Those, I think in total was 2 solid months of, I think it was 51 days of really, really crappy emotions. And it felt like shit. So I basically just kept flying out of Vietnam and just going somewhere else. And usually I go back to Singapore and just going back to base, going back to home and recover a little bit. Took me a while to get back to who I am today, but it got me to be stronger because I got to re-evaluate and reassess my beliefs and principles and knew what worked, what continued to work, what didn't work anymore, update my beliefs from there, and got me to who I am today. Okay, so that sounds very easy, I know, but it was a struggle. I had a lot. In general, I really don't doubt myself. I will always put money on me. But those moments, those short periods, that was really, really hard. And those were the periods where it's just a big challenge to overcome the internal doubts. Internal doubts are the worst. People can keep telling you, no, actually you're doing great, but if you don't believe in it, you don't believe in it. Yeah, so took a lot of time to overcome that, and basically it was going back to my values, my principles, updating my beliefs, understand what worked, what didn't work, rebuilding my systems ground up, and got to where I am today. Okay, so that's vulnerability number 1. That was really, really the darkest periods of my life.